Unfortunately, the art of silence has been lost in our busy world, where noise and talk are always present. But what if the times we choose not to speak, we're just as strong as the times we do? How often do we stop and think about what our quiet means? Stoicism is an old theory that teaches people how to control themselves through reason and emotional strength. It's a great way to learn when not to speak. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, said, "It's better to trip with the feet than with the tongue." This wise saying brings up a basic question. How many times have we felt bad about saying something, in a hurry or out of anger? Stoicism doesn't just tell us not to do things. We owe it to ourselves to use silence as a tool for growth and peace. Imagine facing life's challenges with the calm confidence that your silence speaks louder than any words could ever hope to. Stoic philosophy teaches that silence isn't just the absence of speech, but a deeply felt response that has been carefully chosen. It is an active, powerful force, a plan that can help ease disagreements, protect us from harm, and help us understand. But when exactly should we embrace silence together? We'll find out in 9 key times that choosing silence is not only smart, but also life-changing as we go deeper into these lessons. Think about how practicing Stoic silence might change the way you deal with others and your own peace of mind. What if you could end a heated fight with a calm, measured silence instead of harsh words? What might a quiet pause help you say about your feelings and thoughts? Come with us as we dig up the strong times to shut up and let the knowledge of Stoicism guide us. Are you ready to learn more about the deep knowledge of Stoicism? Please leave a word before you start your journey. Number 1. When being criticized unfairly. According to the Stoic philosophy, being unfairly criticized is a unique chance to become stronger and show integrity. The main ideas behind this old knowledge. The ruler Marcus Aurelius once said that if something outside of you bothers you, it's not the thing itself that's hurting you, but how you think about it. He also said that you can change how you think about something at any time. Insight says that what bothers us about criticism is not the criticism itself, but how we see and respond to it. Think about this. How might changing how you see criticism make you stronger? Can you think of a time when staying calm in the face of unfair criticism changed the outcome? For example, if you are leading a project at work and your boss criticizes it harshly, a Stoic response would be to calmly look at the feedback and find useful insights, while ignoring any negative information that isn't based on facts. Epic has said that this way of doing things will not only keep your peace, but it will also keep your professional honor. Don't talk about your theory. Live it here. To live by philosophy, you have to respond with calm, well-thought-out responses instead of defensive ones. You should let the quality of your responses, and ultimately your work, speak for itself. Not responding when unfairly criticized is not just a passive act. It's a strategic one to embrace. Stoicism's call to focus on what we can control, our responses and attitudes. This quiet strength turns possible conflict into a sign of your personal strength and philosophical dedication. As you face life's difficulties, think about how silence can help you. What chances might come up if you choose thoughtful silence over impulsive speech? How might this practice not only improve your own peace of mind, but also have an effect on those around you? By incorporating Stoic principles into our daily lives, especially when we are unfairly criticized. We align ourselves with a philosophy that values the strength of character over the temporary approval of others. This promotes personal growth and inspires others to do the same, especially in today's world, where boasting and self-promotion often drown out humility. Stoicism tells us to embrace silence. And the wise Marcus Aurelius says, "Don't waste time arguing about what a good man should be one." In this light, think about how silence in response to boasts can turn a potentially ego-fueled environment into a place of self-reflection and growth. There will always be criticism in life, and it can often be a good way to learn and improve. But criticism isn't always fair, even when it's meant to hurt someone. In these kinds of scenarios, it can be hard to stay calm and act in the right way. Stoicism, a theory that began in ancient Greece, has timeless advice on how to handle rude criticism with class and grace. By following Stoic ideas, we can turn bad things that happen to us into chances to grow as people and become stronger inside. Hey, what matters is not what happens to you, but how you react to it. This is the Stoic principle. Epic teachers. What happened? Take a moment to think about what to say. When someone criticizes you unfairly, this keeps you from acting on impulse and gives you time to think about what's going on without getting upset. Take the criticism away from yourself. As the Stoic said, you control your mind, not events outside of it. Know this and you will be strong. Marcus Aurelius. Do this, understand that unfair feedback only shows how the reviewer feels or what they think, not how good you are or what you can do. You can see the criticism more clearly if you separate it from who you are. As the Stoic said, "If anyone can prove and show me that I think and act in error, I will gladly change it, for I seek the truth." Marcus Aurelius. Do this. There may be a small amount of truth in even the most unfair judgment. Look for any helpful feedback that is hidden in the unfairness. Take this as a chance to improve yourself and get rid of the negative thoughts that aren't necessary. As the Stoic saying goes, first learn the meaning of what you say and then speak. Epictetus. What happened when someone criticizes you unfairly? Stay cool and polite. This not only shows how strong and in control you are, but it also keeps things from getting worse. A calm answer often calms down the reviewer and shows that you are an adult. Take care of your own growth. Don't waste time arguing about what a good man should be, says the Stoic. Be one, said Marcus Aurelius. Action. Stop focusing on unfair criticism and turn your attention to your goals and personal improvement. You can rise above the bad things that happen and keep moving forward on your road by focusing on your own growth and virtues. It can be hard to deal with unfair criticism, but if you follow Stoic principles, you can turn these situations into chances to grow and become stronger. Remember to take a moment to think. Separate the criticism from your own worth. Look for any sliver of truth. Reply with cool and respect. And keep your attention on your own growth. In this way you live up to the Stoic ideal of staying calm and strong inside, even when things are hard outside. No to Stoic silence in the middle of boasts. Imagine you're at a networking event where a co-worker is bragging too much about their recent raises and fancy lifestyle. You might want to counter their bravado with your own accomplishments. Stoicism teaches us the power of restraint. If you choose quiet, you keep your cool and let other people's words show you who they are. This way, you can save your energy for deeper conversations. This method not only protects your honor, but it also makes you look like someone who is sure of their own achievements and doesn't need outside approval. In this theory, silence is not a sign of passivity. Instead, it is a sign of strategic silence that shows knowledge and confidence. Another wise Stoic says who does not wish to be outnumbered by greater benefits should not return one benefit with another. He should return many at once. In real life, this means that you should not respond to empty boasts with words, but with the quiet grace of your actions and the quality of your character. How often do you find yourself responding to someone else's success story with one of your own? What might happen if you instead chose to listen fully, acknowledging their accomplishments with a nod or a smile, while keeping your attention on your own virtues and goals? Accepting Stoic quiet in the middle of boasts is a way to live a life not marked by competition, but by happiness and inner success. It creates an atmosphere where one can thrive peacefully and successfully, based on genuine self-worth, rather than comparative measures. Please think about this lesson and use what you've learned in your daily life. How could accepting quiet make your life and relationships better? Please write about your ideas and stories in the space below. Let's work together to make each other's lives more peaceful, happy, and successful. No. 3. When dealing with anger. When we're angry, it can feel like a wild storm that can sweep away all reason and calm. But in the middle of this storm, Stoic philosophy offers a safe place to be. A moment of silence that helps us deal with these strong feelings. Epicure is a famous Stoic figure, said to keep quiet most of the time and only speak when you have to. Now imagine a day at work when a co-worker's mistake causes you hours of extra work. Your first instinct might be to lash out in anger. But what would happen if you chose silence instead? By not reacting in anger, you give yourself time to think about the situation more objectively. This pause can stop the conflict from getting worse and lead to constructive solutions. Instead of heated arguments, think about it. How often has reacting quickly in anger made you think about what could be different if you took a moment to calm down before speaking? Marcus Aurelius, another well-known Stoic, gives advice in his writings. How much worse are the results of anger than the things that make people angry? This thought makes us think about what happens after we get angry. Most of the time, the effects of an angry outburst are worse than the thing that made us angry in the first place. Think about Nelson Mandela, a famous leader who, even though he had been jailed for years, decided to forgive his abusers instead of getting angry. This decision not only improved his own life, but also led a country to reconciliation. For example, using silence when you're angry doesn't mean hiding your feelings. It means choosing a response that is in line with your best self. This practice not only improves your own peace, but it also leads to better relationships and a more successful life. As you deal with the inevitable frustrations of daily life, remember that silence can be your sanctuary, a place where wisdom rules adopted. And you may find that the quiet response is not only the most profound, but also the most powerful. Anger is a normal feeling that everyone has at some point in their lives. On the other hand, anger that isn't under control can hurt relationships and your own health. Stoicism teaches useful ways to control anger. By focusing on self-control, clear thought and inner peace. Figure out the cause. Look at your triggers. To figure out what exactly makes you angry. Is it a person, a setting, or a certain event? Self-reflection. Think about why these things really set you off. Our assumptions and ideas about things often play a big role. Acceptance. Know that you can't change the things that happen in the outside world. What you can change is how you react to these things. Practice being mindful. Keep your mind on the present time, instead of focusing on past problems or worries about the future. Exercises for deep breathing. When you feel angry, do exercises for deep breathing. To calm your mind and body, pause and think before you respond. Stop and think about what will happen if you do something. Change your point of view. Try to see things from the other person's point of view. To show empathy. Seeing things from their point of view can help you feel less angry. Change the way you see it. Think about how a Stoic philosopher would see things. Would they think it was unimportant or important? Focus on solutions. Instead of dwelling on the issue at hand, think of useful ways to handle it. Build emotional strength. Learn to control yourself. Remind yourself that you can choose how to react. Use self-control and patience. Emotional detachment. Learn to separate your feelings from what's going on. Take a step back and look at it objectively, instead of personally. Get stronger inside. Do things that help you deal with your emotions, like exercising, writing in a book, or meditating. Use your anger in a healthy way. Positively channel your energy. Instead of being angry, put your energy into things that will help you, like working out or making art. Learn and grow. Use your anger as a chance to learn more about yourself and change how you respond in the future. How to communicate well. Talk about how you feel in a cool and confident way, without being hostile or angry. Managing your anger well is important for your health and the health of your relationships. You can turn anger into a good force by getting to the bottom of it. Practicing mindfulness. Changing your point of view. Building mental strength and finding healthy ways to use your anger. Follow the advice of Stoicism to find inner peace and live a healthy, peaceful life. No for silence in the middle of false rumors. When people talk to each other, stories are like leaves caught in a gust of wind. When these rumors aren't true, they can cause harm and confusion. Stoic philosophy gives us a strong answer. Quiet. Think about the story of a teacher in a small town who was wrongly accused of misconduct. As rumors spread through the community, the teacher chose not to add to the heat by denying or explaining what happened. Instead, she relied on her honesty and integrity to stand firm. The silence is not a passive surrender, but a smart decision based on wisdom. Marcus Aurelius said, "You hold power over your thoughts, not over outside events. Understand this and you will be strong." How often have we seen quickly spoken words make things worse? How might silence protect you from the arrows of false accusations? By refusing to comment, the teacher let the community's initial excitement die down. As time went on and no new proof came to light, the truth became her defense. This shows the Stoic belief that you should focus on what you can control, like your reactions and actions, instead of worrying about how stories spread, which you can't stop. Epic teachers once said that if someone says bad things about you, you should always compliment them. This counterintuitive method says that reacting to negativity with positivity or in this case silence, can stop and change the course of unproductive interactions. When false accusations are made, speaking quietly can show respect and trust in the truth. To use this in your own life, think about how important it is to wait, to reply to stories until the storm passes. Remember that the best way to keep your peace and image is to live by the ideals you preach, not by fighting every whisper. In these kinds of situations, staying quiet isn't just a way to protect yourself. It's also a way to show your dedication to Stoic principles. So, as you deal with the difficulties of personal and professional relationships, let Stoic silence lead you through the chaos of false rumors, finding in it the way to a peaceful, happy, and successful life. No. 5. How to deal with loss. How do you deal with the utter silence that follows a major loss? Loss is a common human experience that often leaves a void filled with sadness and confusion. But Stoicism has a unique way of dealing with pain. For example, C.S. Lewis, a famous author who wrote about his grief after losing his wife, in the book A Grief Observed, says, "The pain I feel now is the happiness I had before." This is a very Stoic way of thinking. Stoics believe that our experiences are part of a bigger natural flow of life, and that loss and love will always go hand in hand. Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, has a lot to say about this subject. "The day we worry will be our last is actually the birthday of eternity." How might your response to loss change if you see it as a shift instead of an end? What might you gain by accepting the silence that comes after loss? Giving yourself time and room to think and heal. After his death, Lewis didn't try to fill the silence with explanations or distractions. Instead, he used it to deeply explore his thoughts and feelings, showing the Stoic belief that hardships can be used for personal growth. His journey through grief showed how keeping a calm mind can help someone deal with deep emotional pain and turn it into a deep understanding of life's fragility and beauty. Silence after a loss isn't a way to hide or deny what happened. It's a way to give yourself time to relax, think, and move on. Find meaning beyond the pain you're feeling right now. This means letting your feelings run their course without causing a forced end. Think about how you've dealt with losses in the past. How could the Stoic practice of reflective silence help you in future times of grief? How might this method change not only your own healing, but also the healing of those around you? Please share your thoughts and experiences with loss, as well as how Stoic practices may have affected your path. What lessons have you learned? And how has silence helped you get better? Let's talk about it and get better in the comments below. One of the hardest things in life is dealing with death. It's hard to deal with grief and sadness when you lose something important in your life, like a loved one, a job, or a big chance. Stoicism, an old theory started by Zeno of Citium in Athens, gives us timeless advice on how to deal with these hard times. Taking a Stoic view can help us be strong and at peace, even when we've lost something very important. Recognize and accept how you feel. It's important to understand and accept the feelings that come with losing someone. Stoicism teaches us that feelings are normal reactions to things that happen in life. Step you can take: let yourself cry and feel the pain without judging yourself. Writing in a journal or talking to a friend you trust can help you work through these feelings. Pay attention to what you can change. According to the Stoic theory, we should let go of things we can't change and focus on the things we can. Step to take. Figure out what you can change about the situation, like how you deal with the loss, and let go of what you can't. Reframe the loss as a chance to get better. As explained, Stoics think that every problem can be used as a chance to grow and get better. Step you can take. Think about what you can learn from this. What can this loss teach you that will make you better, smarter, or more caring? Practice being thankful. Being thankful can help you. Stop thinking about what you've lost and start focusing on what you still have. Step write down every day a list of things you are thankful for. This exercise can help you see things in a new way and make you feel calm. Seek help and group. Stoicism stresses how important it is to have a group and help each other through hard times. Step to take. Talk to family, friends, or support groups. Talking about your problems with other people can help you feel better and less alone. It's never easy to deal with loss, but the Stoic ideas can help us be strong and resilient. When we're going through the pain of loss, it can help to recognize our feelings, focus on what we can control, change our point of view, be grateful, and ask for help. These techniques can help us heal and grow if we choose to use them. 6. Navigating ignorance with Stoic grace. Have you ever met someone whose actions show they don't understand, but whose belief is as strong as if they were an expert? Even though this situation is upsetting, it's a good time to practice being patient. Grace Galileo, the famous scientist who pushed heliocentrism during a time of strong geocentric beliefs, is a great example of how to deal with ignorance. Even though he faced fierce opposition and was even put under house arrest, Galileo kept his honor and dedication to the truth, often choosing to stay silent in the face of false accusations and ignorance. Stoicism teaches us that we can only control how we respond, not what other people do. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, said you have power over your mind, not over outside events. Realizing this will give you strength. Think about using this point of view the next time you come across someone who is wrong. Thoughts. How could changing how you respond if you knew you could control it? Galileo's silence wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a strong statement of his honesty and belief in what he had found. He knew the truth doesn't need to be backed up by words, but can stand firm on its own merits over time. This approach is similar to the Stoic idea of focusing on one's own actions and accepting that others' beliefs are outside of one's control. Being gracious means knowing the limits of your power and picking your fights carefully. It means being patient and understanding, even when things are frustrating. This practice not only leads to a peaceful and happy life, but it also helps you see things with a bigger picture that focuses on long-term respect and success instead of short-term vindication. Think about how silence can be a graceful reaction to stupidity in your own life. How might this method improve your relationships and your own health? Let Galileo's story motivate you to practice Stoic silence, turning possibly happy situations into chances for inner peace and personal growth. 7. How to deal with rumors. There must have been many times in your life when you were the subject of a story, hearing whispers getting louder as they went around. It's a normal human reaction, but keeping quiet can change the situation. Think about the story of a community leader whose dedication to protecting the environment led to false rumors about her personal gain. Instead of addressing each rumor, she stayed focused on her work, remembering Marcus Aurelius's words, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who hurt you." This leader's decision to remain silent and continue her advocacy let her actions speak louder than any rumor. Her behavior shows an important Stoic concept. It's not outside events that bother us, but how we react to them. How would your life be different if you ignored rumors with silence? What strength could you gain by deciding not to explain, but to keep going on your path? If someone says bad things about you and it's true, Epic Teachers tells us to fix ourselves if it's a lie. This wise leader not only kept the peace, but also told her people to look past the lies by telling them to laugh at them. People who didn't believe in her slowly lost faith, but her calm attitude and unwavering commitment showed that Stoic silence can help you keep your image and self-respect. This story shows how Stoicism can be used in modern life by showing how our reactions to false information can either feed the fire or put it out. It also shows that silence is not a passive choice, but an active and powerful way to let our lives and results show what kind of person we are. Think about this approach the next time you hear rumors. How can practicing Stoic silence help you stay calm and focused? How might it change how other people see you over time? I want you to share your ideas and experiences with dealing with rumors in the comments section below. What have you learned from these events? And how has silence helped you get through them? Your ideas could help someone find their way. Rumors can spread fast and hurt your image, cause a lot of stress, and make things more confusing. It is important to come up with good ways to deal with gossip in a world where information spreads quickly. There is timeless knowledge in Stoic thought that tells us how to stay calm, collected, and logical when we face problems. Keep your emotions in check. It is important to keep your feelings in check when you hear stories. When you react quickly or strongly, it can make things worse and give the stories more weight. Instead, try to keep your emotions in check and look at the issue without bias. Pause before you answer, take a few deep breaths, and tell yourself that other people's opinions don't define your worth. Do things that calm you down, like awareness or meditation to stay calm. Get clear and get the facts. Thoughts and details that aren't clear often feed rumors. Do not take them at face value. Instead, look into the facts. Find trustworthy sources and gather correct data to find out what the story is really about. Talk to reliable people who can give you more information before coming to a decision. Ask questions and look for proof. This method helps you react based on facts instead of guesses. Think things through before you act. How you react to a story can have a big effect on how true it is. When you act without thinking, you might misunderstand something and spread the story even more. Instead, react carefully and with a plan. Look at the situation and think about what might happen if you do something different. Respond to the rumor in a cool and accurate way. If you need to, sometimes the best thing to do is to be quiet or say something slowly. Pay attention to your actions and personality. The best way to fight back against fake rumors is to show that you are a good person. Over time, stories can be put to rest by always being honest and showing what kind of person you are. Keep following your beliefs and ideas. In everything you do, take acts that are good for you. and show who you really are. The more you act the same way over time, the less likely it is that false stories are true. Practice not caring about what other people think. Stoicism tells you to let go of things you can't change and focus on the things you can. The second group includes other people's thoughts and stories about you. Remember that you can't change what other people think or say. Pay attention to what you do and how you think. Accept yourself and have faith in your ideals, no matter what other people say. Stoic ideas like controlling your emotions, finding the truth, responding wisely, being constant, and not caring what other people think can help you deal with rumors in a balanced and logical way. By using these tips, you can handle the problems that stories cause with poise and strength, protecting your honor and peace of mind. No weight when confronted with injustice. Stoic philosophy teaches us to deal with life's problems with fairness and inner strength. This is especially important when we face unfairness. As the wise Epicurean said, "Bear and forbear." This maxim tells us to go through hard times without complaining and forgive others for their mistakes. Nelson Mandela fought against racism in South Africa in a way that made this theory very clear. Mandela's long time in jail could have made him angry, but he came out as a supporter of peace and unity, showing a deep Stoic resilience. Mandela didn't just stand there and let injustice happen. He chose to focus on healing and unity instead of getting even. This choice shows a key Stoic principle. Our biggest power lies in our ability to choose how to react to outside events. How might our own lives change if we followed Mandela's lead when it comes to the unfair things that happen to us? Can we choose to show understanding and kindness, even when it seems impossible, by staying quiet when unfair things happen? Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations that the best way to get back at someone who has hurt you is not to be like them by choosing not to get into a fight and instead developing a spirit of healing and forward thinking. Mandela changed the way a whole country thought about justice and peace. His life shows us that silence is not a sign of submission. Instead, it can be a powerful tool for change and a sign of personal integrity. This Stoic way of thinking doesn't mean passively accepting injustice. Instead, it involves a strategic and principled silence that prepares us for constructive action. It's about keeping your inner peace and using calm to inspire thoughtful solutions that address wrongdoing and foster a collective move towards a better future. As we face both small and large injustices, let us remember Mandela's silent strength. His legacy teaches us that sometimes the most profound response is cultivated in silence, allowing us to build a foundation for meaningful change and a happier, more successful life. Adopting this can transform both personal hardship and communal strife, leading us to a more peaceful existence. Everyone has to deal with unfair situations at some point in their lives. As a Stoic, it's important to handle these scenarios with calmness and knowledge. The ideas of Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and epic teachers can help you understand how to deal with unfair situations, focusing on what we can control. Staying calm inside and reacting logically are some of the things they stress. Keep your peace inside. Focus on your inner state. Marcus Aurelius says that no matter what is going on around you, you should keep your mind cool and collected. Emotional regulation to keep your emotions in check. Do things like deep breathing, being aware, and meditation Accept what you can't change. Know that you can only change how you react to other people's acts. Answer logically. Think before you act instead of moving without thinking. Stop and think about what the best thing to do is. Try to understand. Try to figure out why the unfair thing happened. This can help make things clearer and maybe even show a way to solve the problem. Avoid getting back at people. Getting back at people with anger or revenge only makes things worse. Try to respond in a reasonable and calm way. Take a look at your values. Always stick to your principles no matter what. Let your behaviors be based on your core beliefs and principles. Moral integrity. Make sure that your answer is in line with your morals and upholds your honor. Set a good example. Show others how to deal with unfairness, with respect and honor by the way you act. Look for constructive answers. Problem-solving attitude. Instead of dwelling on the problem, go into the situation with the attitude of finding ways to solve it. Communication. Talk to the people involved in an open and honest way to try to find a fair answer. Advocate for change whenever you can. Try to make changes to the system that get to the bottom of the unfairness. Grow and learn. Stop and think about what happened. Think about what happened and what you can learn from it. Personal growth. Look at the experience as a chance to grow as a person and make yourself stronger. Future readiness. Get the skills and information you need to handle similar scenarios better in the future. It is important to stay calm. React logically. Stay true to your ideals. Look for helpful solutions and learn from the experience when you are faced with injustice. If you follow these Stoic principles, you can deal with unfair situations with kindness and honesty, making them into chances to grow and make things better. Know 9 how to handle insults with Stoic wisdom. Epic teacher's historic philosopher once said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." This maxim should wake us up every time someone insults us, and it also gives us a deep way to deal with insults. Be quiet. This insight tells us that we can choose how to react by choosing silence and understanding instead of conflict. Mahatma Gandhi, for example, faced insults and resistance in his fight for Indian freedom, but he didn't answer with anger or insult. Instead, he chose to be silent and understand. Gandhi believed in ahimsa or pacifism, which is similar to the Stoic way of life. Joyful peace. Gandhi's reaction to verbal and physical attacks was to keep quiet. This often made his enemies less dangerous and won support for his cause among the public. How might taking a similar stance when you are insulted change the dynamics of your interactions with others? What could you gain by keeping your cool instead of responding with words when someone attacks you? You give yourself room to act with purpose instead of impulsiveness. This stern practice not only keeps you calm, but it also makes you look like a leader who is above everyone else. Small disagreements that echoed Marcus Aurelius's, "How much worse are the results of anger and grief than the things that made us feel those ways?" Think about this as you deal with the problems that come up every day. Think about what this stern silence could do for your life. Could it be the key to a better, more successful life? How might your actions affect how other people deal with problems? As we've looked at the 9 pivotal moments to embrace silence, from dealing with talk to facing loss, Stoic advice has shown us a way to peace and understanding. Marcus Aurelius once said, Don't waste time arguing about what a good man should be one. In the spirit of his words, let us practice the deep strength that can be found in silence by deciding when to speak and when to listen. This will help us live a peaceful, happy, and kind life. Feel free to use these Stoic principles in your everyday conversations and see how the power of thoughtful silence can make your life better. If you found this talk deep and useful, please click the like button, leave a note with your thoughts, and don't forget to share these deep, philosophical ideas with everyone you know. If you're new, subscribe to our channel to get more deep lessons in Stoicism that will help you grow. See you in the next lessons.